Does this mean I could have an orgasm from my finger? Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Yep, it's titled, well, more or less, The Orgasm. What do you know about orgasms? Apart from they're fun and they're enjoyable. Now, I bet you have heard some little birdie told you that an orgasm comes from sex, right? If you're interested in knowing how and why this is not true, keep watching this video. So, we're told by the medical community, by experience, that the orgasm happens during sex, right? During sexual intercourse. Because of physical stimulation of certain parts of the body. The erogenous zones perhaps can start getting you there, but it's mainly the genitals. Yeah, that's what we know. Well, that is completely false. Everything you've been told about orgasm is not necessarily a lie, but it's not true. And if you're thinking this guy's full of rubbish, then, okay, let me ask you. If, for example, for a woman, the main way to have an orgasm is to stimulate the clitoris. Okay, great. So, women, does that mean every time you stimulate the clitoris, you have an orgasm? Or maybe it's about point A, point D, point C, point G, point X, point Z, point Y. Bleh. So every time they're stimulated, do you have an orgasm? Yeah, no, you don't. Men, an orgasm happens during ejaculation. No, for most men, they think ejaculation is an orgasm. It's not, it's ejaculation. An orgasm has very little to do with ejaculation. So what is an orgasm? Right, I've got two definitions and I'm going to read them to you. Where did I get these definitions from? I got them from AI. Why did I get them from AI? Because AI picks up everything across, everything that people reads, and so they're just quick definitions. So I'm going to read you two from two different AIs. Medically, an orgasm is a complex neurophysiological response characterized by rhythmic muscular contractions, heightened pleasure, and a release of built-up sexual tension. It involves multiple systems in the body, including the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, the ANS, particularly the sympathetic and parasympathetic branches, well, they're the two we have, regulates the build-up and release phases. The brain's limbic system, including the hypothalamus and nucleus accumbens, plays a crucial role in pleasure and reward processing. The endocrine system, a surge of neurotransmitters and hormones occurs, including oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, which contributes to feelings of pleasure, bonding, and relaxation. Cardiovascular and muscular response, increased heart rate, blood pressure, and rhythmic involuntary contractions of the pelvic floor muscles. Reproductive organs and anal sphincter occur. Reproductive system. In males, orgasm is usually accompanied by ejaculation, though not always. In females, it involves vaginal and uterine contractions that may aid sperm transport. Okay. Orgasm is often followed by a refractory period in which the body returns to baseline and the sexual arousal temporarily decreases. This period is usually shorter in females than males. Okay, that's definition one. Definition two, it's slightly more simple. An orgasm is a complex physiological and psychological response to sexual stimulation, characterized by intense feelings of pleasure and a series of involuntary muscle contractions, typically in the pelvic region. Medically, it is defined as the climax of sexual arousal, involving the release of sexual tension and activation of the autonomic nervous system, leading to rhythmic contractions of the pelvic muscles, particularly in the pubococcygeus muscle, and often accompanied by ejaculation in males and vaginal contractions in females. The experience is also associated with the release of neurotransmitters such as dopamine, oxytocin, contributing to the feeling of euphoria and bonding. The exact mechanics of and subjective experience of orgasm can vary widely among individuals. So these are the two definitions. The two definitions that are given basically say it can be done. It doesn't really say, does it? It does say there are certain muscles in the genital area that are contracted. But that's about it. And these are the official definitions that have been compiled from AI to discuss the orgasm. Wow. So whilst they are both very correct, neither of them actually say it happens because of sex or sexual intercourse. An orgasm is a psychological and physiological response to certain things. Yeah. So, if science and just sex doesn't really go that far, and if there are people on this planet who have never had an orgasm in their life, of which there are loads, and that doesn't mean to say they've never had sex, they most probably have had a lot of it, and yet never had an orgasm. Yet in Tantra, white Tantra, so no sex involved, we can have orgasms. There are two types of orgasm, really, when it comes to Tantra. One is stimulating, self-stimulating, self-activation of the nervous system to create a response when we are in a safe space that allows us to have a full body orgasm. Full body, not just genitalia, full body. The other one is an energy orgasm, which we use the sending and receiving of energy to create an energetic orgasm. No sex involved, no manual stimulation involved, or very, very little, and none of these sexual areas. So, does this mean I could have an orgasm from my finger, stimulate my finger in a certain way to create an orgasm? Now, many of you might be watching this video as I do this little experiment, and you might say, he's faking it. But I'm going to show you. And if you wish to think that, and you wish to think that everything you know is better and it has to be through sex and things like that, then great. Stay doing your way. But if you're interested in learning truly about the orgasm, then let's just watch this. So I'm going to create in my body, through moving the pranic energy around my body, I'm going to stimulate, which I'm doing now, and heighten the senses of all my nerves. This comes from practice of Kundalini work, of Tantric work, of Neigong work. And I'm going to simply press my finger down to create a slight stimulation. And I'm going to press it on the chair, nothing sexual here. And let's see if I can get my body to react in an orgasmic way. Like that. Now, if you think I was faking that, that's a difficult thing to fake. Make my body go into involuntary movements, still going, involuntary movements that sends shockwaves of pleasure up to my brain. Yeah, that's not an easy one to fake, is it? How the hell did I just do that? Well, I've been practicing Tantra and Kundalini and pranic energy for many, many years. And I've taught energy orgasm classes to people, big groups. I've had clients, for example, during sessions, women sort of. So I always tell people when I do these classes to take change of trousers / underwear to these sessions, and not just men, because I've had women in group sessions, again, there's no sex involved here, that have literally had female ejaculation. Yeah, like those things that you see and think is all myth on, porn videos, and they have literally wet their trousers, had to change, and then they have come to me after the session and said, I thought that was all fake stuff in porn. And I'm not talking, young people, I'm talking 40, 50-year-olds. And they've come to me and they've said, I thought that was all fake, created by the porn industry. I've never experienced that in my life, not even during sex. How did that happen? And it's very interesting when those things happen. And I've had men in sessions that have gone into spontaneous full body orgasms. And it's just blown their mind. No ejaculation, no sex necessary. So how does this occur? Well, ladies, have you ever had sex and your partner's been trying to give you an orgasm and you haven't been able to do it, and your response was, I just wasn't feeling it today. I wasn't in the right headspace. I wasn't in the right place. That is key. If you get yourself into the right psychological place, coupled with the nervous system in your body active enough that we activate by using pranic energy in our body. This comes from things like Kundalini activation, what they call Kundalini activation. And you might have seen many demos of Kundalini energy where people are having orgasms. Now, Kundalini activation won't be able to tell you exactly why this happens. It's just some people have it and other people don't. But we can reproduce this whenever we want. So by getting yourself in the right mental state, in the right emotional state, in a safe space, and a safe space can be at home by yourself, or it can be in a big group of people. It really doesn't matter, as long as it's a safe, comfortable space. And you allow yourself to feel your entire body enough. Through certain types of stimulation, we can start having orgasms, no sex involved. I'm going to be doing more videos on this channel. So subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more about this. And yeah, as you can see, I'm fully dressed. I'm just talking. There's no sex involved here. But we can have orgasms, which in turn can be very healing because we produce the oxytocin, the dopamine, the serotonin. They can be very healing. It says in those definitions, it can release sexual tension. It's not just sexual tension it can release. It can release general stress tension. It can heal us. It is a very powerful healing thing, the orgasm. And I want to teach you guys more about this. I'm also going to be developing for you on my website, theawakenenergy.com, courses so you can, and they're going to be courses that you can download, so you can go and watch these videos and start having certain types of orgasm by yourself. Of course, these will be self-stimulated orgasms. They're not going to be the energy orgasms, because for the energy orgasms, you have to have someone facilitating that for you. Which are better? Well, you can decide. For me, the energy orgasms go much further and they can go much longer. You can be going in energy orgasms, can be going for hours, just going and going and going and not stopping. These, the exercises I can give you to do at home, they're awesome, but they sort of, you get to a point where your body sort of gets so tired and, you know, they're not as long. They're not as exciting. They're not as build up. They're just like a sexual orgasm, that it's build up, release, done. So there are two different things. And they can come from different places in the body, from the finger. You can stimulate different parts of yourself by doing these things. So as I said, subscribe to the channel for more about this stuff. I also have started with a partner another channel, which is called Golden Tantra. There we are going to also be delving into these topics. And there, it's not just me. There is me and my partner on the channel who is female. So we can discuss these things and show you these things from both sides, for men and for women. So you don't have to just take women, you don't just have to take a man's point of view for this. We're going to both be talking about this to show you. It doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman showing you, but it's good to have a woman's perspective. And she can explain certain things to you that physiologically I can't, because I don't have the organs, just as for men I can. So yeah, are you interested in being able to have an orgasm by just doing that? And it just comes through physical stimulation from a finger and a psychological and energetical point. Now, for people who want to learn this faster and don't want to go through a whole energy training, we don't have to just use what they call Kundalini activation or pranic energy activation within the body. We can use breathwork to get our bodies to a certain point to be able to have these things go on. Now, there are videos out there online that sort of try and explain this. And for some people they work and some people they don't. Why? This is because you're not basically giving yourself permission on a subconscious level to go orgasmic. And this is what happens in intercourse. If you are not in the right frame of mind, you are not in the right emotional state, you don't have an orgasm. So we have to learn to control these things within us by giving ourselves permission to be more orgasmic in life, to be more tantric in life, to be able to have an orgasm whenever, wherever we want. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be developing that course. Go check out the first couple of podcasts that Ara and I have on Golden Tantra. And let's take you to a fully orgasmic, sensual life.